arguments about whether people should be paid $15 an hour or something else. One name for human beings is Homo economicus. This means that we always act economically. We always try to get the very most for the very least. This is genetic. It's built into our DNA. It has never been otherwise in all of human history. We will never pay more if we can possibly pay less. Each of us tends to look upon the sweat of our brow as something special because it's so intensely personal. It comes from us. It expresses who we are as persons. It's very emotional because it's our life. But as far as others are concerned, our labor is just a cost. As intelligent consumers, employers, or customers, we want the very most for the very least, no matter whose labor is involved. This is why people manufacture in China, Taiwan, Vietnam, or Indonesia. The customer in America does not care where the product comes from. The customer simply cares about getting the lowest price. People talk about offshoring, sending jobs overseas. It's not the companies, it's the customers that are demanding that they send these jobs there, because the products and services can be produced at a lower cost. Until very recently, almost all of Apple's products were made in China. Why? It's because the cost to manufacture them in a more developed country is 3 or 4 times the amount it costs in China. So the customers in developed countries will not pay that amount. They demand indirectly that companies offshore these jobs so they can have the most for the least. For this reason, you can't place an objective value on your own labor, protesting and demanding increases. It's only what other people are willing to pay for your labor in a competitive market that determines what you earn and what you are worth in financial terms. The third corollary of this law says the amount of money you earn is a measure of the value that others place on your contribution. In other words, the customers in the marketplace determine what we're worth. The customers of the companies that we work for determine what they will pay for the products and services that we contribute to the production. This in turn determines how much we will be paid. There's no objective amount that we can be paid. How much you are paid will be in direct proportion to the quantity and quality of your contribution in comparison with the contributions of others, combined with the value that other people place on your contributions. One thing I used to say is that you are competing every single day with every other person in your company. People would get really huffy about that. They'd say, "We don't compete, we all work together as team members." Yet the person who determines your paycheck determines how much you will be paid in comparison with how much other people are paid. That's why most companies have a rule that you're not allowed to discuss your pay with other people, because your pay is determined by what the company thinks you are worth relative to everyone else working around you. The fourth corollary of the law of exchange is that money is an effect, not a cause. Your work or contribution to the value of a product or service is the cause, and the wage, salary, or earnings that you receive are the effect. If you wish to increase the effect, you have to increase the cause. As inspirational speaker Earl Nightingale said years ago, the law of cause and effect is the foundational law of all of human life. All science, all technology, all mathematics, all money. The fifth corollary of the law of exchange is that to increase the amount of money you are getting out, you must increase the value of the work that you are putting in. People think that they can get more without putting more in. If you ask, "Where's the money going to come from?" the answer is somewhere. If you press them, they say, "Well, the money should come from other people who are creating more value, who therefore are earning more. Then they should give it to me, even though according to the market, I'm creating less value, so that I don't feel bad." This attitude that I'm entitled to more money is nonsense. That's why it leads to riots and strikes and similar disruptions. To earn more money, you must add more value. The secret to wealth creation is to add value. Sometimes I ask people how many of them work on straight commission. I'll ask 1,000 people, and about 10 or 15% of the people will raise their hands. The truth is, everybody works on straight commission. What does that mean? It means everybody gets a percentage of the value that they create. If you're not happy with the percentage that you're getting, create more value and become worth more. Your boss or your customers will willingly pay you more because they value your contribution more. Some people earn $10 an hour. Some people earn $1,000 an hour. I have a friend who upgraded his skills from being a commercial lawyer to being a lawyer in intellectual copyright, a field nobody was in. It was a white space. Companies like Sony and Disney and the biggest companies in the world eagerly pay him $1,000 an hour to help them with their intellectual property law. Because the amounts involved are hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's an expert. He made himself so valuable that they get in line to pay him whatever he wants. He's often paid $2 million or $3 million to vet a single contract or merger between companies that have intellectual property, such as movie companies.